I'm Austin Alexander. I lead sustainability and social impact for Xylem. And a little over a year ago, probably summer 2021, we were having conversations within the Xylem team about how does water show up for climate mitigation? And often we hear about water in the climate conversations, even COP27 happening right now, as the end result, the adaptation, the bad thing that is going to happen with either too much or too little water. But rarely was water being discussed as one of the solutions, the front end. And so that was frustrating because I think if there's any sector that should be leading on both mitigation adaptation, then it should be water. And why? Well, water and wastewater utilities make up about 2% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Water management as a whole is closer to 10%, a tenth of global greenhouse emissions. And those numbers, particularly for the water wastewater utilities, are expected to double by 2040 as we do good things like provide wash to those that aren't underserved today, or in other words, SDG 6. So if we're going to both advance continuing to provide water and sanitation to those unprovided, as well as reduce emissions, we have to do both at the same time. And so the last year or so has really spurred a lot of activity for us at Xylem, but also I'd say across the sector about what we can do together to solve climate mitigation. For us at Xylem, our role, we see ourselves as the technology player, and we know that technology is going to be a key to unlocking much of the mitigation efforts. But that alone won't work. We need policy, we need funding, we need adoption of technology. It's a lot of things coming together at the same time, which is why we're hosting events like this. Okay, so the next I'm going to just say a couple quick thank yous. I think it just came on speaker. First, Maya, and then a few you don't see here, Gabby and Justin from our Reservoir team made this happen. So big thank you to them. Jan Nowak on my team, and of course, Josh Mahan. Josh leads our government affairs as well as leads the Reservoir Center. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Josh, to give us a little intro to what is Reservoir. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Austin. Appreciate the introduction. As she indicated, I'm Josh Mahan, Director of Government and Industry Relations for Xylem. It's been a real pleasure to have the opportunity to work here at the Reservoir Center for Water Solutions. For those of you who haven't had any engagement with the Reservoir Center thus far, we are located at 301 Water Street in Washington, D.C.'s Navy Yard neighborhood. We're along the banks of the Anacostia River, right stone's throw away from the U.S. Capitol and federal agencies. The Reservoir Center aims to provide event, work, and meeting space to raise awareness, eliminate barriers, and advance the collective interests of the water sector and generate solutions to the globe's most pressing water needs. We aim to advance public education to address today's water challenges, whether it's educating our partners, whether it's educating the surrounding community. We want to bring together thought leaders to roll up their sleeves and take on global water challenges and host events like today's event here at the center where we can bring folks together to have these very important conversations. The Reservoir Center consists of 35 nonprofit partners from a whole range of different vectors of the water sector. We have think tanks like the Aspen Institute and Stimson Center. We have universities. We have regional innovation tech centers, trade association, nonprofit environmental organizations. So we've got a really good mix of diversity amongst our current makeup of partners. And the partners is what really makes this place run. It's really what brings us all together and allows us to pull off programming like this. The three pillars that really guide a lot of our actions here and what brings our partners together is we want to convene conversations and meetings We want to generate ideas and drive action. So we're not just releasing white papers. We really want people to take what they learn and really get out there and start pushing things forward. And then we want to educate and elevate. I alluded to earlier the education component. So it's very important that we're learning from each other and we're disseminating ideas and breaking down barriers as we do that. Today's event is the third in a series of climate events that we've had here at the Reservoir Center. In June, we partnered with the Stimson Center, another one of our partners, to have an event titled Mobilizing Innovation to Advance Climate Resilience in the Water Sector. So that was a bit more resilience focused. Here today, we're going to focus on the mitigation and adaptation side a bit more. Most recently in October, we had a Careers for Change, Meet Peers and Pros Tackling the Climate Crisis. So this was an opportunity to bring together young professionals who were interested in learning more about both the water sector and its nexus with climate change. So that was a really fun event that we had a couple weeks ago. And then if you're interested in learning more about the Reservoir Center, you can go on reservoircenter.org. You can talk to any of our Reservoir member teams here to learn how to get more engaged. We have an email distribution list. You can follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter. So please check us out, give us a follow, and learn more about our future programming. So with that, I'm going to now turn to introducing our first speaker, who is coming to us live from Sharm el-Sheikh. It's my honor to introduce Tanya Trujillo. She's the Assistant Secretary for Water and Science at the Department of the Interior. She oversees the Bureau of Reclamation and U.S. Geological Survey, roughly about a $3 billion budget that has a huge connection to water resources in our nation. Prior to Tanya's second stint at the Department of the Interior, she was also working previously in the Obama administration in the Water and Science Hallway. Prior to that, she was project director at the Colorado River Sustainability Campaign. She was the executive director at the Colorado River Board of California and also a staff member on the U.S. Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee. She is a proud daughter of the great state of New Mexico, and if I could be so bold to say, she's a wonderfully delightful person, and we're all excited to have her join us from Sharm el-Sheikh. So with that, I'll kick it over to Tanya for some opening remarks. Welcome, Tanya.
Thank you, Josh. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you guys hear me? Okay,
yes.
Great. I'm a long ways away. Hi. Hello, everyone. Greetings from the U.S. Delegation Office at COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. It is wonderful to be here in Egypt, but also wonderful to be able to say hi to all of you back home. I am an assistant secretary from the Department of the Interior. It's great to be part of the U.S. delegation here at the conference and to be the lead for the delegation from the Department of the Interior. It's been a great experience to be able to talk with partners from within our U.S. delegation, but also, of course, to meet with many, many, many different participants and partners from other countries who are here attending the COP. It's been a great experience so far. I, of course, am very happy to be able to highlight and confirm the United States' interest in water as an element of the climate impacts that we see, and was able to participate last night, on a panel of other experts from other countries to talk about the drought resilience challenges that we have, to talk about the emphasis on water resource availability, the emphasis and the importance of being able to responsibly manage our water resources in the context of the climate change and the really, with respect to our country as an example, the unprecedented drought conditions that we have been seeing. It was really reaffirming and confirming to know that other countries are recognizing the importance and the value of addressing water issues, and that water has been included as a theme in the climate change context. And for those of us who work on water, we take that for granted. I think we know that that's one of the main areas of focus that we need to be able to discuss. And it's great to have that confirmed uh, as part of the global stage for these issues. It was wonderful to be on the panel yesterday with experts from a wide variety of countries. The forum itself was co-chaired by representatives from Senegal and from Spain, but we had speakers as well from Germany, from France, from Saudi Arabia, several different entities that were confirming again their country's interest in focus on water issues in the context of climate change. I made the comment that it seemed like we were all speaking off of the same talking points because several of the themes were reiterated among the various presentations. I was able to confirm that the United States definitely recognizes the impact on our water supplies and was able to talk about the examples that are near and dear to my heart of the Colorado River Basin, where we're seeing the unprecedented drought conditions, which are forcing us to make real-time emergency operational decisions at the same time as we're planning for the longer-term resilience actions that we are going to be needing to take. The drought, it was wonderful to recognize and share that experience with the other countries. And I say wonderful in the context of not having a good news story to talk with each other about, but recognizing that there's a common interest in trying to work together to develop technologies, develop data in particular that we can share among our countries to help each other build tools and strategies to be able to manage in this changing climate that we have. I was able to talk about the announcement back on June 1st that President Harris was able to make to emphasize that water is a national security issue for our country. And that was when we announced the action plan for global water security and emphasized our interest in trying to help stabilize areas that are subject to conflict as a result of water supply issues. Of course, that was also an opportunity where we announced the collaborative efforts that we have within the US through our interagency drought working group in talking about the shared strategies that we've been able to develop to think through responses to the drought and adaptation strategies that we can utilize domestically as well. I know um, the focus of the discussion yesterday was to confirm that earlier in the conference here at COP, our special envoy John Kerry, who might be just trying to come into utilize our conference room right now, but he was participating, or he confirmed and announced that the United States would be joining the International Drought Resilience Alliance, which was the focus of the discussion last night and co-chaired by Senegal and Spain. And I was able to confirm our interest in participating in that alliance and developing our shared actions and developing more detailed actions with our John Kerry does need the room. Okay, well, in September, we were also able to to announce the President's Emergency Action Plan and confirm that water resilience and water security needs are something we are going to continue to prioritize. We have, of course, a basis in sound science and technical experience that we rely on within the United States and that we are able to share with our experts, by our experts, with our partners around the globe.